What is up, everybody? Turboverse TV here today. So apparently, people are upset with this new controller, with I guess the Sega Genesis controller for the U.S. that the U.S. is getting for the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack program, and the Japan audience, well, the Japanese gamers are getting the 6 button controllers, while the American ones are getting the 3 button controllers, and people are pissed off. Now I don't understand, like, why wouldn't they just make the 6 button one in a standard if this is the definitive controller for the Sega Genesis or Sega Genesis. Like, why wouldn't they just have the people? Why wouldn't they just make the 6 button one? Like, why? Why is it that certain audiences, like the American audience, gets the 3 button one, and the Japanese one gets the 6 button one? It doesn't make sense to me. But the Nintendo has decided to go with that, with this plan for the different audiences, and it is just so stupid because people are pissed because they want the 6 button one, which is pretty. It is just like, it just don't make any sense to me. Like, why split it up to begin with? But people are not happy about this in the comment section. People are not too pleased about this news whatsoever. So, and apparently there's a different company who has a cheaper model of this, but it's Retrobit. This is the company who has, like, they made their own Bluetooth Sega Genesis controller. But I'm not sure if this works on the Nintendo Switch though. But this is supposed to be a lot cheaper than the official Nintendo one, and it has 6 buttons. So this might be the one you want to go with if it works on Nintendo Switch. We don't know yet, but if it works, then you probably want to use that one for these Sega Genesis games when they come out. Um, let's see. Japan continues to get the best stuff. Why can't it be available for all that? Just rude. Especially as they're charging $50 at that. Like, these controllers are expensive at that too. Like, these controllers are definitely expensive, and they give you the one people don't want, the 3 button one. Like, that don't make any sense to me. Let's see. Wow, that's heartbreaking. I would love to use that for games outside of the app. Um, let's see. Sega of America loves the 3 button controller, it seems. It's because most of the big games they had didn't need the 6 buttons. That was for fighting games, which still have 3 button systems, and licensed games. Most bit Sega games they use over Japanese exclusives, along with them, like in fighting games, more sales wise. Oh, for F's sake. Nintendo do what Sega don't. Or just get this, like, this is a retro bit. I'm assuming this is a lot cheaper than the official Nintendo one they're about to release. It only has 3 buttons. Let's look at this. Yeah, like, it just don't make sense to me. If your audience wants to, if this is supposed to be the definitive controller, why not release that one with it in all regions? So Nintendo says we have deemed you worthy to once again produce a console. Sega, yes, we would love to. Nintendo controller, a console controller. Sega, the look of disgust. Okay, bruh. Sega, I am effing begging you, stop arbitrarily making all your good slash superior products Japan exclusives. I promise people aren't going to hate you for it. Okay. Uh, I remember getting into huge arguments in school about which was better, the SNES or Mega Drive. It was SNES, by the way. It was only passed. Okay. Let's see. Meanwhile, America and Europe get the 3 button second controller. I swear Japan gets all the good S. A 90s kid would never believe the Sega Genesis games and their controllers would be available on a Nintendo console. This is awesome. Yeah, because apparently the console wars was a different thing back then. It was a console wars back then was between Sega and Nintendo. Unlike today, it has most between Xbox and PlayStation. But definitely interesting. You see the competitive stuff. Sega and Nintendo are huge competitors, and now you see you saw all Sega stuff on Nintendo stuff. So it's definitely weird if you were back in those, if you were doing console wars back then, and you're just seeing it now how they just merged together. Yeah, that's interesting. Damn, North America getting shafted hard, having to settle for the 3 button Genesis pad instead for the same price. LOL. Yeah, I just don't get that. That don't make sense to me. Like, how come Japan gets the good one? This is some BS. What the F? This is effed up. Where's my 6 button? What, is it coming to Europe? No, y'all getting the same one as the American one. Y'all getting the same 3 button as the American one is. The memories I have with this controller. Nintendo finally won the 90s console war. So the Genesis on Nintendo Switch Online in Japan getting Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition of the Street Fighter soon. Where is this controller for the rest of the world? LOL. Of course, it's exclusive. Yeah, how do you make a controller as a regional exclusive, bro? like why even do that? Like, don't make why do that? Uh, Nintendo are selling second controllers. This S is blowing my mind. Yeah, it's crazy. Uh, oh, really? No, why can't we get that here? The three-button controller is unacceptable alone for the $50 price tag. First, the NES controller is getting a mic in Japan. Now this. Why does Japan always get better stuff? Does anyone know how to import the Japanese? Okay, those are different, but different things. No, it's completely different. Please don't give the U.S. only three-button options, please. Nintendo has finally come full circle in their dominance over Sega. I guess as Nintendo does what Sega don't these days. I mean, if that wasn't evident, like when they stopped making Sega consoles, I don't know why people are so shocked now when they stopped. I think what was the last? I think the last console was the Dreamcast. I think it was pretty evident at that point when they decided to go to build out the console market at that point. I think I thought it was pretty evident then. The US should get this controller instead of three-button controller. Most Genesis games don't require six-button controller, but it would be nice to have it. Wait, so apparently most games don't have the six button, don't even use six buttons anyway. That's what a lot of people are saying. So, man, I don't know. It's like I haven't played the Sega Genesis in such a long time, and when I did play, I was a kid, so I don't know how useful the six button one was compared to the three button one. But most of the games we play with three buttons, I don't think it was a big a deal. But people are complaining and saying, "Hey, why not give us the six button one?" Then I don't know. Maybe they should just make the six button one at that point. Imagine telling kids in the 90s that in 30 years Nintendo will release an official second controller. Absolute madness. We truly live in a post-irony world. Yeah, I want to see how console wars back then, bro. How was the console wars in Nintendo versus Sega in that heyday of that when those were the two biggest console makers? Cause I don't know. Cause right now, when you look at the console wars now, it's just creepy. People making contracts, people making cult like groups. Was there insanity like that back then, or it just wasn't no internet to actually see what was going on? I don't know. What a shame. Not like I have my own that works with the Switch and is a transparent blue. Okay, so apparently this one works with this Nintendo Switch. I don't know. So maybe you can save some money and just buy like the non-official Nintendo one, a second controller. And there you go. Even on the six by one in that valley. Ah, come on, the six button controller is one of the greatest controllers ever and is Japan exclusive. Yeah, I definitely want one of these controllers, but I don't know if it's gonna be the official one, like the official Nintendo one for $50. Because they're saying that this retro one works on Nintendo Switch too, so I'm definitely gonna get one of these controllers. If this works for those Sega Genesis games, I might get this one. So you got that option out there. If this they don't want to give us the six button one. People say that's the best one to use for the Genesis. So as the guy says, we were robbed. The first official Nintendo Sega product, right? Why couldn't we get this over the three button controller? Yeah, so a lot of people are angry about this decision for Nintendo, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they're making a controller a regional exclusive. Like it don't make sense to me. Like if people want that one, I just make it. But I don't know. Apparently they know what they're doing because I'm pretty sure this thing is gonna sell out regardless. This three button or six buttons gonna sell out regardless. People are gonna buy that and the Nintendo 64 controller as well too. So it's gonna be hard as hell trying to get these controllers because I know people probably gonna try to scout these controllers. So you gotta worry about that too when they start doing the pre-orders. Hopefully you can just buy these things in the store. It's not that big of an issue, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be difficult. Hopefully it's not, but yeah. So this is just the update on these controllers. Nintendo just I don't know how Nintendo gets away with this stuff, man. I don't know. I wonder like if Xbox will do the same thing and charge you like full price for an older. I guess Xbox kind of did with the Duke controller. Like it was like they released the Duke controller and they charged like the same price for the regular Xbox One controllers. Like a PlayStation did like a retro like PlayStation One controller, and they charged the full like $60 or $70 for it. But Nintendo, They still get away with charging these crazy prices for these old products. It's just insane to me. But people are gonna buy it though, so I guess Nintendo's in their own in their own little lane at this point. But that concludes the video right here. Everyone see your thoughts down below about this. If you are a fan, or maybe you were a gamer back in those days when they had the Nintendo versus Genesis thing going on, maybe your mind is blown because it is kind of because the console wars was as big as it is back as it is now. There's probably some insanity. You see like the Sega stuff on Nintendo platform. Nintendo still on Sega Genesis controllers is probably like a mind blowing thing right now. But yeah, the people are definitely not happy with the with the 3 button controller in America. So people want the 6 button one. So hopefully Nintendo. I don't know. Maybe people complain enough. Nintendo will probably do it because I don't see why they wouldn't. Like, it doesn't make any sense why they make a controller regional exclusive. But got concluded right here. Definitely see your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you like this video. And as always, thanks for watching and peace.